Hey, good morning. Happy Friday, November the 8th. Rise and shine. Let's put down some coffee. Come on. I'll be going out here in a couple hours to one of my happy places. Gratz. To the Gratz auction, Gratz Farmers Market, whatever you want to call it. On Fridays. Always on Fridays. Only on Fridays. Go down there and get my 2 hot sausage sandwiches with just a light coating of onions on them because my belly can't take it anymore. And then I go right next door, as I've said before, right across the aisleway to Troutman's world famous French fries. And I get me some Troutman French fries, and I get me a small Coca-Cola, and I'm in Fat City. Yes, I am. What are you guys doing today? As you're thinking about it, put down some coffee. Or your favorite morning beverage. Let's go. My mug says it all. Station I got on right now, which you won't believe it, but I got it on iHeartRadio, and it's the Beatles station, all right? In the beginning, when I put it on earlier today, first song that came on was All You Need Is Love. And that inspired me to get out this mug. I haven't had this one out for a while, so I don't even know who got me this mug. Maybe my friend Lucille up there in New York State, Staten Island. She always sends me mugs and banners and shirts and mega hats and mega mugs. She's my friend. Good morning, Lucille. How you doing? Anyway, oh, excuse me. As I said, today's November the 8th, and birthday for today. I only got one. Gordon Ramsay, the chef. It's his birthday today. He's 53 years young. So if you run across Gordon Ramsay, tell him happy birthday. And tell him happy birthday for Warsy, too, if you would. National Days today, all right? The National Day of November the 8th, 2019. This is from my daughter, Tina, over there in Lidditz. This is right up her alley. Cheryl, and you tell Tina this one, it's National Cappuccino Day. Get that frothy cappuccino, and I don't know if you get cappuccino with no whip or not. Somehow that's how my daughter drinks her fancy coffees from Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks or whatever. I went in one time with Tina a couple years back. First time I was ever in a Starbucks. I mean, I'm just a basic, give me a black cup of coffee guy, you know? I want to say it's maybe 5-7 years ago. But we were all together for a very important engagement. We had to find out some information, and it turned out to be good information. I'll let you know that. But she said, want to get a cup of coffee? I said, sure, let's go. So we went in a Starbucks. And I don't know if you guys have been in Starbucks coffee shops before or not, but I never was. I walked in there, and there's all kind of people in there standing in line. And then you look up on the front wall, and I looked, and it seemed like there were hundreds of choices of different coffees. And I'm standing there. I must have looked dumbfounded, because even Tina started laughing. I had this look like, what the fuck? You know? But Tina says, well, what kind of coffee you want? I said, just get me a basic cup of black coffee. It was the best $10 cup of coffee I ever had. Not $10, but it wasn't my 45-cent cup of Wawa coffee back in the day, or whatever it was, you know? It was still rather salty, but it tasted all right. It didn't flip my skirt. I'd never go back. Of course, maybe if you're into all those different concoctions and mixtures, then maybe it's worth the while and worth the money. But when you're just a basic, give me a cup of hot black coffee guy, it doesn't do it for me. All right, enough of that story. Let's put down some caffeine. Besides being National Cappuccino Day, it's also National Harvey Wallbanger Day. For you party folks out there, I haven't heard a Harvey Wallbanger expression in years. But that's the other national day it is. And then it's also National Parents as Teachers Day. And I know all you parents out there, you guys got your hands full when my granddaughter comes over and her father, Sean, when he brings her over, or even Sean's mother, that we call her, and Brianna calls Sean's mother Mimi, all right, instead of Grandma. But when Mimi comes over, I let her get in the door here and give her a couple minutes to settle down a little bit and, ease into it. And I said, okay, what kind of homework do we have today? And Mimi, sometimes she gives me a list of what she's supposed to read or review or do, and sometimes she doesn't. But this new math, holy God, what is going on with this stuff? My opinion, to get from point A to point B with the new math, it takes them 45 minutes, where the old school guy can go from point A to point B in 2 minutes. Really? Come on. I don't get it. If you guys want to explain it to me, you go right ahead. But thank God she never brings over this new math, because I don't get it. I can't do it. I can come up with the answers, but not the way that they want these kids to do them. They want the kids to show the teachers how they're getting that answer, and not just a normal way of 3 plus 3, equals 6. They got to go 3 plus 2 minus 1 plus 7 divided by 6 squared. Not me. That's it. All right, 3-day forecast for Tower City, Pennsylvania on Friday, November the 8th. Let's see, it's partly cloudy today. 38 degrees is the high, and the low was 21. And I just got a message a little while ago from Carol as she got into work. She said, I'm here, and the snow flurries in Pottsville, Pennsylvania are starting. They were calling for flurries in this area for tonight, because I was going to make that trip up to Wellsboro, Pennsylvania with the motorhome, but because of the weather report and the chance of snow, I didn't want to, chance it. So I canceled that trip for today. I'll do it again another day when I know that there's no snow in the forecast. Until I get used to this motorhome and how it reacts, I'd rather play it safe. In my younger years, I would have said, screw it, I can do this. Not no more. So anyway, that's the forecast for today. Forecast for tomorrow in Tower City on Saturday. It's going to be partly cloudy, 41 for a high, 30 for a low. Sunday in Tower City, partly cloudy again. The high is going to be 52. The low is going to be 36. Then I decided, okay, we'll go to another state. Instead of going to, I've always been going to Cape May and Cape May Courthouse and things like that. I've been changing it up a bit since I'm not down there until April now. So let's go to Michigan, the Mitten State, as one of my fine friends tells me all the time when she says, hey, good morning, Ralph. Good morning from the Mitten State, Michigan, But in Michigan today, Friday, it's going to be sunny. High is going to be 37, lows 27. That's Michigan, you know. Saturday, mostly cloudy, 41 for a high, 35 for a low. And then Sunday in Michigan, it's going to be cloudy. The high is going to be 46, and the low is going to be 29 degrees. One of my Facebook friends sent me a message the other day, and I seen a picture of. It said something like, "Enjoying my lakefront cottage." And many years ago, my grandmother and grandfather, God rest their souls, when we lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, they had a lakefront cottage, if you want to call it that, in Minnesota, and we'd go up there in the summertime. And I was definitely a very young tyke. I want to say I was maybe 6, 8 years old, somewhere in there. I remember going up there. One incident in particular. It was not a good incident, but we went up to Minnesota, and my dad got out his we had a station wagon back then, and he had a boat motor. The boat apparently was already there. I don't remember all the details anymore, but I remember he was getting the boat motor out of the back of the station wagon, and he, on those station wagons back then, if you remember, they were huge. When he lifted the doorway down, or whatever you want to call it, and he leaned the boat motor just up on it like that, and he said, "Okay, Ralph, just steady it, hold it here for a minute." So I and it was leaning like that on the doorway of the back of the station wagon, and it started to slide. And it was a heavy motor for a young kid, right? And it fell. Boy, my dad got upset. But he picked it up, and then we took it down to the lake and put it on the boat. And I remember being on the dock, looking down at the boat. And I was just a little bit too close to the edge of that dock. Well, you can imagine what happened to me. I went, blah, 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 blah. I fell into the water. I remember going under the water, and I can visualize I was looking with my eyes open, and when the water's over your face, how it fogs everything up, and just the waves and all that. Well, I was looking up, and I can remember my dad just taking his hand and grabbing me and pulling me out of the water, putting me on the dock. Well, he was not a happy camper. That was not a good way to start the weekend in Minnesota at my grandparents' cabin. The other thing I remember about that cabin was there was no running water, so to speak, and there was no inside bathroom. We had the outside, what did you call them back then? The little rooms, to go potty. And the bathroom that we had outside, when you open the door up and go into that bathroom, there were 2 circles there. There was room in there for 2 people if you wanted to, mind you. That was one of the memories I had of that cottage. I wish I could remember. I wish I had some cousins that would remember, where this was. I'd love to take a road trip up to Minnesota and just look at this cottage and actually try to remember it, The other thing about it was, we did have so-called running water in the cottage. I remember that. Had it inside and outside. It was a hand pump, had some kind of an old rickety sink in the kitchen area, and then there was a hand pump outside on the lawn, if you want to call it that, where you pump it and you get water. And I can remember the smell of the water coming out of the pump. I don't know if it was a smell of whatever the metal pipe was made out of, but it definitely had a different smell to it. Not a sulfur smell, but it had a different smell, and the water, I remember, it tasted pretty good. Obviously, it was like spring water, but that's enough of that. That's my little story of Minnesota and our lakefront cottage because of my friend in Michigan that has his lakefront cottage. He said, living the dream and enjoying the scenery of my lakefront from my cottage. And there was a picture of it, and it was beautiful, And I sent him a message. I said, could you give me an idea where this is and what lake is it on? And you're saying it's a small cottage. Approximately how much are these cottages? Well, when he sent me the price, a little salty. But then again, if you got to ask the price, you can't afford it, right? All right, folks, good morning. Have a great day today. I'll talk to all you guys later on. Make it a fun day today, all right? It's Friday. Do something nice for your fellow human being. Have some kind words for them. Thank your God for another day on earth. And pray to your God for peace on earth, all right? Cheers and Nostrovia. Let's put it down. Ken, Barbie, I'll talk to you guys later on. God willing, I hope. RJ, Chrissy, good morning to you. I love you. Tina, good morning. I love you. Hi, Cheryl. How you doing? Mary Elizabeth, good morning. And your dad loves you. Yeah, he does. Brother Roy, Raymond, Mary. We got Buckle over there. All right. Lizzie, Hope, good morning. We'll talk to all you guys later on. Take care of yourselves. On 3, I'm going to punch you out. Have a great day today. Let me know what's going on in your neck of the woods. What the weather's going to be like. I'm going up to Gratz, Pennsylvania here in a couple hours. Hot sausage. Yes. Okay. On 3. 1, 2. Big smile now. Here it comes.